Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about musicals again, and if you're interested in writing musicals, we're going to be talking about whether or not you should listen to soundtracks before you've seen the show, and how that might be able to help you with your own musical writing. So stay tuned. Okay, so I know that some people are a little bit funny about this and don't really want to listen to a musical soundtrack until they've seen the show. They don't want to spoil it for themselves. They don't want to, X, Y, Z, which I totally understand. And, I get the special feeling when you see a new show for the first time and it's just sizzly and magical and you love everything about it and everything's a surprise and amazing and all the rest of it. Like, I totally get that. But on the other hand, seeing shows can be really expensive, and also not all the shows are everywhere, if that makes sense. So when I first came to England, I realized, oh my gosh, I'm going to be able to see Hamilton. Like, Hamilton was not in my country, was not going to be in my country for, quite a little while. And I just could not have seen Hamilton without, traveling to America or England or whatever. So the fact that I was in England, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be able to see this show now. So you can't always see whichever show you like. You don't always have access to shows. And to me, that's a part of the magic of theatre, right? It's not forever. You make a film, that's forever. You can never go back and change how you did that scene, what was in the background. It's forever. It's out there. Whereas theatre, it's temporary, right? Every single time you do it, it's there and then it's gone. Every single time is different. You can change things about it. It's evolving, it's changing, and it's never forever. So that's a part of the magic of it, but also can make it sometimes tricky to access. So me personally, I'm a huge advocate for listening to soundtracks, and it's something that's really helped me with my own musical writing. So one thing that I'm really going to recommend if you do want to start listening to some soundtracks to musicals is to start with soundtracks that really you can get a kind of through line and pick up most of the story from, because this way, it's not gonna be so unsettling jumping from song to song, being like, I have no idea what's happened or what they're singing about now, and I can't visualize it, and it can be very unsettling. It is for me when I don't get the whole story. I really like to get the story. So a few soundtracks just off the top of my head that really do give this is obviously Hamilton, like I've just mentioned, because it is sung through. Anything that is sung through, like Les Mis as well, is going to be a little bit easier to get the story. I've recently been listening to Be More Chill for quite a while, and I really found that an amazing soundtrack to listen to. You just see everything in your head, you get the whole story. Bat Boy as well is pretty good. Like, I really kind of see the show in my head. Legally Blonde's not too bad. Yeah, there's heaps. If you want something really niche, a musical called Grover's Corners. I think it's just like a demo album somewhere on the internet. I found this, and it's based on the play Our Town, and it's just like, it takes you into this magical world. Anyway, so if you can find soundtracks like that that really communicate the story to you, take you along every step of that journey, you can visualize the show, and it's almost a different way of experiencing the show. No, you're not going to get to see how they've communicated the physical language of the show, the set, the theatrical language in that sense, but it gives you such a great understanding about how we use musical language in a musical to convey all those things. So instead of thinking when you're writing, okay, well, how am I going to be able to communicate this through this, or what are they going to be wearing, or what are they going to look like? It's thinking as much as possible, how can I convey this through song, through music? What are the lyrics saying? And you get a very good understanding of how much you need to do that. So in some cases, I'll be listening to a soundtrack and I won't really get it the first time, I won't really get it the second time. By the third listen, I'm like, oh yeah, I heard that word, that means this, they're this, blah 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 blah. And some soundtracks are incredible, where the first time listen, the ideas, the characters are so reinforced in such a successful way to the listener that you straight away pick it up. You get it, you're on that same page, you're in that world. So that's really interesting you know, how many times do you need to tell the audience something before they get it? It's a really fine line. You don't want to dumb them down, but you don't want to go too fast. And also about how the music itself, not so much the lyrics, affects that world of the show, right? So in Be More Chill, there's all this do 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 do, like computer sound effects and electronic stuff, but it's still like got this music theory vibe, and you're in this world of high school and video games and losers, and you know, you're so taken to that world through the instrumentation and what the music's doing and all of that kind of stuff. Whereas, you know, Hamilton, totally different story with the sound of the music and all of that different stuff. So it's really interesting to be able to have access to all these shows you might not usually have access to through the power of soundtracks, which usually are accessible. So I'm a huge advocate for that. I think the more you can listen to, the better. You know, obviously don't steal from stuff, but, you know, all creative artistry is a little bit stealing. So you might hear stuff that you're like, whoa, I love the way that they did that. I loved how in Hamilton they like did, you know, the years, you know, and they showed you the time periods through saying what year it was and what was going on. I'm going to do that in my show. I'm going to say, you know, at the start of every song what day of the week it is, and you're going to see the progression of the week. Like it's borrowing and it's taking and it's changing and it's making into your own. So you're going to find things that you really love, and you're going to be able to hear the things that worked well and be like, yes, I want to use that. So the more you can take on board, obviously see as much theatre as you can as well, see as many musicals, like sure, but soundtracks to me is really where it's at. You can do it while you're at the gym, when you're on the bus, you can do it anywhere, and it can be so informative about the musical language of the show. So I hope that's been helpful. Let me know down in the comments what your favourite musical soundtrack is, and I will see you next time.